By the end of the week, the issue that threatened to consume Washington was closer to home on the southern border, where the administration has undertaken a zero-tolerance immigration policy, resulting in the separation of children from their parents. It's a policy that has received widespread criticism from Republicans in Congress, including Paul Ryan, and religious leaders on the left and right, including Trump supporter Franklin Graham, who called separating families disgraceful. On Friday, on 7 different occasions, the president said that a law passed by Democrats is to blame for separating families. But that's just not true. As Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said, the president could end this family separation with a simple phone call. So let's dig deeper into all of this with the president's former chief strategist, Steve Bannon, who, of course, played a critical role in crafting the policies we now see taking shape. So you've heard the criticism, left, right, a lot of Republicans, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. How do you justify this policy?
It's zero tolerance. I don't think you have to justify it. We have a crisis on the southern border. Look, the elites in the city, and this ties into Korea, ties into everything that took place this week. The elites, the permanent political class in the city, want to manage situations to bad outcomes. And Donald Trump is not going to do that. He's just not going to kick the can down the road, whether that's China, whether it's tariffs, whether it's Korea, whether it's the southern border. We ran on a policy, very simply, to stop mass illegal immigration and limit legal immigration, get our sovereignty back, and to help our workers, okay? And so he went to a zero-tolerance policy. Zero tolerance, it's a crime to come across illegally, and children get separated. I mean, I hate to say it, that's the law, and he's enforcing the law.
But, Steve, take a look at this image. We have this image of a young child, 2 years old, facing the possibility of being separated from her parents. There were nearly 2,000
Jonathan, you have the human traffickers. This is a huge business now coming up from Central America. You're just going to exacerbate the problem. The president has said, give me a border wall for security. Okay, give me border wall security. We won't have this problem. He has a zero-tolerance situation. He's drawn a line in the sand, and I don't think he's going to back off from it. And by the way, I don't see the mainstream media, and I don't see the liberal left embracing the angel moms, those people that were permanently separated from their children because of illegal aliens that came over here and committed crimes and killed people. You're very selective about how you
No. Steve, this is a U.S. policy. We are taking and separating these young children from their parents at the border. What about the morality of it?
The morality is the law. They're criminals when they come across, okay, illegally, and that's why they're getting separated. By the way, if they're calling asylum, they're still going to the detention centers, although the detention centers are now full. That's the Obama policy right from 2014. So the
children are criminals? The children that
they are not, but the law, because of the consent decree, means that children cannot stay with parents that are being charged with a crime. This is the law. Donald Trump is put in a terrible situation. Why is he put in a terrible situation? He's put in a terrible situation because the permanent political class in this city has not wanted to address this. Donald Trump has gone against his base more than any president to show a profile and courage to say, hey, look, we got to try to work this out. The base does not support these policies that really Donald Trump's trying to push through with Paul Ryan. Donald Trump is leading his base to that. He's shown more leadership than Bush. He's shown more leadership in Obama. And now that he's had a zero-tolerance policy, he's being ganged up on by the mainstream media.
So what about the religious leaders? What about you have the evangelicals, people like Franklin Graham calling it disgraceful, Cardinal Dolan called it unjust, unbiblical, un-American, and then you had the Pope.
By the way, go ahead.
Let's look what the Pope tweeted this. Children must be able to play, study, and grow in a peaceful environment. Woe to anyone who stifles their joyful impulse to hope.
The Pope, by the way, the Pope more than anybody else has driven the migrant crisis in Europe. That's why you have a new government in Italy. The Pope, yes. Yeah, by the way, the Catholic Church, I've gone after Cardinal Dolan. Cardinal Dolan's attacked me. The Catholic Church is one of the worst instigators of this open borders policy, right? The Catholic, and I'm a Catholic. I'm missing Mass today. I'm missing Mass today, or going later with my dad to be on your show. I'm a Catholic. No, the Catholic Church is one of the big instigators in the open borders, and the Pope has been driving the migrant issue in Europe. No, so no. By the way, the Pope is not infallible when it comes to public policy, and that's a public policy issue.
So I want to show you another image. This came from General Michael Hayden, who is the former CIA director. He tweeted this, obviously a photo of Auschwitz and Birkenau, saying other governments have separated mothers and children. What's your response to the former director of the CIA?
Well, I don't believe in the deep state, but we'll get into this later. I think Hayden and all that crowd, Brennan, all of them. This shows you the over-the-top, anti-Trump, anybody but Trump, to demonize the President of the United States as a former military officer, completely unsatisfactory. And it's over-the-top comparison. This is a law, okay? The President is enforcing a zero-tolerance policy. We've got to get security on the southern border. He has not been given his wall. And I believe he's going to enforce this policy.
So why does the president pretend that this is a democratic law?
He's not pretending.
Well, what he said. He said
what he's saying,
over again.
because for decades this law has been on the books. He's enforcing it. Who has gone out? And by the way, this is what
Lindsey Graham's right.
No, Jonathan.
This is what
I don't get about you. Who has gone against his base to reach out with amnesty for DACA? To reach out on everything he's reached out to for Democrats over the last 6 to 9 months, with people, the hardliners in his base saying we can't do this, trying to lead us to some sort of compromise. All he's had is his hand smacked away the entire time. And now they're trying to demonize him. The whole purpose here is to demonize Donald Trump. And here is a guy that's shown more profile and courage than anybody in this issue, because you have the hardliners over here, right, the deplorables, and then you have the open borders crowd. Donald Trump is trying to reach a compromise, and all the Democrats have done.
You call them the deplorables.
Yeah, they're proud to be deplorable. So I've got T-shirts and ball caps. We're proud to be deplorables.
So the president, the House is going to be debating immigration this week. Paul Ryan has got a bill. There are a couple bills under consideration. One of them would provide citizenship for the DACA recipients, a path to citizenship. Should that be supported by the president?
The president is trying to show leadership. The president is trying to show he's president for the entire country.
So you're now in favor of...
No, absolutely. I believe that this bill and the concepts of these bills came up from people that thought we were going to have the tables run on us in November. This is the best deal that they could get. I'm adamantly opposed to these bills. I think any pathway to citizenship for DACA is unacceptable. And I believe when you look at the 4 pillars, the president of Trump, I think, is very magnanimously laid out. I don't think the 4 pillars are included here. And principally,
so you oppose even having this path to citizenship? It would take years for the DACA recipients.
Absolutely.
Why is the president supporting it?
Well, the president's trying to show leadership. He's trying to show that I can bring my base.
Is it a political mistake?
I think that what we should do, and Lou Dobbs said it the other night. Lou Dobbs, told the president on national TV, if you go down this path, he believes we'll lose 50 seats in the House in November, because you will not generate the base. I believe that this is...
Let's say that again. So you think they lose 50 seats in the House? They lose control of the House if they support this bill?
Lou Dobbs said, and I believe, if you support this bill, I think this is the way that deplorables don't come out. I think this is the way potentially lose 50 seats. Otherwise, I think we run the tables. This is why I'm saying, at the time that people in the White House thought about this, they thought there was going to be a blue wave, right? And this is the best they could do at the time. I strongly recommend that we just wait till 2019, right, to address this, because I think we're going to have a big November, and we'll play this from a position straight. And another thing, any bill that doesn't have E-Verify, we have to understand one thing, that this illegal immigration, the people that hurt the most are the Hispanic and black working class. It suppresses their wages. It destroys their health care. It destroys their school systems. We have an unemployment
rate in this country of 3.8% right now. Is this really about jobs?
Yes, it is, because wages are not increasing. We have to have the wages increase. And we don't want to continue to have the...
What about the wall?
We don't want to continue to have the pressure of unskilled labor in this country that destroys the black and Hispanic working class. Once we get those wages up in agriculture and construction and oil field services, okay, then we can think maybe of a guest worker program. The thing to do now is to build the southern wall to basically...
Okay, so the wall, Will Hurd, Republican of Texas, said this is a 4th century solution. How hard do you think the president...
The 4th century solution, what worked in Israel and it worked in Hungary. When he says 4th century solutions, let's try I'll tell you, for Will Hurd, let's try a 4th century solution first. Let's try it first. And if that doesn't work...
Okay, so how hard should the president push for this? Should he say no, no funding, government shutdown unless there's funding for
I
the wall?
believe when the appropriations bill comes up in
October.
and we're really in September now,
Yeah.
before when it's going to, I think it's 30th September, and I've said this for a long time. That's why I think people shouldn't go home for the August recess.
You want to shut down over the wall?
I would definitely shut down the government overall. Absolutely. Listen, let's get it all on the table. Here's the thing. President Trump's got a great saying internally when he's talking to you, no games. No games. We got to stop the games in the city. Okay, this is all games. This is a game to demonize him. This is the security and sovereignty of the nation. Okay, and we're not helping those people that are bringing the kids up in that treacherous journey. You're helping the traffickers that are making the money. Okay, this is not right for them.
But it's the kids that you're separating from their children.
It's not right for
Let's
them,
be
and it's
clear.
not right for the working class in this country that is foisted upon. Okay, and we've got to stop the games in the city. So yes, I would say in September, if they have not allocated money for the wall, let's shut down the government. And by the way, on November 6th, let the voters decide.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.